What's happening with the leaders? I mean, Lucas Brown, I've got to give a shout out to him. He's currently in 7th place.
Superb.
Sullivan Mounsey is in 9th place. Brits absolutely love this sort of weather. You know why, but shout out to them too, because this is looking to be a great race from them. Ramandhipa in 6th as well. Indonesia, it's not just Veda you got to cheer on. Ramandhipa's there as well. But Carter Thompson, oh, you're just absolutely heartbroken for him. But Ingrid then, Dinesh Uriarte, Fernandez, Gonzalez, Ramersdorfer, Thompson, Morelli, Daniel and Pugliese are your first 3 rows. Starting for the 4th row, Guillaume Plong from Karpushin and Mounsey. Good finish from Sully yesterday. Up inside the top, inside the points, I should say. Ramandhipa mid.
Cool and miserable, unfortunately, Matt.
Yeah, exactly that. Riders' first experience of the wet weather so far. It wasn't in the end, it was 11 or 10 full laps. Today will be 13 as a result of that. And 2 warm-up laps, Peter.
Yeah, and you can see the rain coming down there, but it hasn't.
Today. Well then, they weren't nervous as usual. They will be now. Wet weather riding. Take it easy, go steady, no hero.
Right, well, that caused problems yesterday. Let's see what it's going to do today. We've got 13 laps of Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup action, and they're away. No wheel spin off the line. A good start from Hakim Danish, not quite so, but behind him is already Brian Uriarte. The 7 is there of Benat Fernandez, but didn't make a good job of it yesterday, Brad.
Oh, and he's down! He's taking Brian with him! Oh my goodness!
They're both of them down. And they're scrambling to try and pick the bikes up. Brian Uriarte picks up the 51. 13, of course, is Hakim Danish. Hakim it was that went down, took out Brian Uriarte. Well, that has changed the race.
Stands, who were the only riders that went down the side. Brian can't get it going, he's down out again. So through no fault of his own, Brian Uriarte has been taken out of 2 races. Having said that, I was going to point out, he was going around the outside. I thought that's a bit risky. He had nearly made it, but down Hakim went, and it's Ben.
And in the back is that the 13 of Hakim Danish as he picked it up and managed to continue? Yes, I think it is. So he has got going. No such luck for Brian Uriarte, but Hakim Danish is at the back of the field and going again.
Inside of Singapore as well.
And Benat Fernandez has now opened his advantage up to 1.4 seconds over Carter Thompson. So it was only half a second a lap before. So the Spaniard is gradually eking his way ahead of Carter Thompson, the Australian. And of course he's got there's 7 seconds back to Zen Mitali, so Carter Thompson just has to measure himself here. But the quickest man on the track, as I say, was Hakim Danish. Not on that lap, but he is quicker than Carter Thompson, so I suppose Carter Thompson, or certainly Thompson, had enough in hand.
Morelli is next on Hakim's hit list. As we break down into the Biondetti chicane.
The right-hander there is Hakim surely isn't quite close enough to catch him on the brakes and perhaps get the drive up the start and finish, and we'll see. We're on board with Hakim Danish. He leads the cut points very handily now, with Brian Uriarte having missed, could have given Hakim more room on the first lap.
It's always a risk going around the outside at the first sort of turns, especially in these sorts of conditions.
Well, especially as Hakim had made rather a mess of that corner in race 1, hadn't he? Anyway.
Well, as you see there, though, he did manage to go, I think, and extending. Well, he's back into the championship lead. And at any further place, he's got 5.6 seconds up to Zen Mitani.
And now a 23-point advantage over...
And oh, Zen, what have you done? On the exit of the museum corner, turn 7, Mitani has thrown away what looked to be a near guaranteed podium, but apparently not. Dinesh is in 3rd. You got Morelli, Singapong and Christian Daniel Jr. all latched onto the back of him. They've seen how fast you can go in these conditions, and they've all thought, well, we're not letting him get away. They will have seen Zen gone down. If they're running the calculations in their head, they know now this is...
He'll get the bike going. Let's hope he can get it fired up and go underway. He's struggling with that, getting the help from the marshal, but the bike doesn't want to fire up. But there is the leader, that is Benat Fernandez. He's got the clear advantage, as you can see, over the number 50 of Carter Thompson. half distance has been passed.
I do remember it was in Mugello a couple of years ago, maybe last year. Gustal, one of our rider coaches, Gustaulinger, was giving one of the talks to the riders, and he said the very best riders, here's what happened to him coming through the final turn ahead of Lucas Brown, and just goes down there, unfortunately, right in front of the Brit.
Yeah.
But yes, this is the key. You know, the likes of Carter Thompson. Carter, but is it worth it? Perhaps not today.
Perhaps not today. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's been closer to Beñat Fernandez, and he's had to drop back. I think he has accepted the fact that Beñat's, you know, just being a little bit braver, and you know, he's going to have to accept for second.
He's running pace 1.2 seconds quicker. I mean, this perhaps, you know, clearly Beñat feeling very comfortable at the moment, but he doesn't need to be running this sort of pace. If you're his rider, if you're his helper, surely you're pit board, you're leaning out going like, it's okay.
Actually, Carter Thompson had a bit of a twitch as he came through the S's there. But I think the thing is, you know, again, I don't want to curse him, but Beñat's in the groove, isn't he? And he's just reeling these off. He's doing what he feels comfortable at, and he's keeping the concentration up, keeping things going, and you saw that superb concentration on the...
There is a slightly drying aspect of the line that is offering a little bit more grip. As we see this battle for third, Christian Daniel Jr., he ain't letting Hakim get away.
No.
He wants that second podium, and he wants it now. And poor Hakim, he's going to come away probably with the championship lead, but still no wins this season. To his right there at one of the big TV screens that are trackside here, seeing where everybody is, he will have seen that Christian Daniel Jr. is right behind him. Because he might not be able to hear as we see Joel Pons has gone down, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, oh, that's a big high side coming out of that final turn. So, clearly, that final turn is one of the problem corners here. If you're too eager on the gas, it will get you.
And we, of course, saw it yesterday in the dry. We had falls there, and through practice, I could see a lot of guys having nasty twitches. Some fell, most didn't, but still some nasty twitches in almost a dip in the road there, which, you know, takes the load off the tyres or something like that. Right, there is the number 7 of our leader, Beñat Fernandez, a 17-year-old Spaniard, and he now has a very handsome lead over Carter Thompson. Carter just knows that he's got to just keep the laps spinning over, 5 laps remaining, and can out of him, but there's a 12-second advantage and only 4 laps remaining.
He did go beyond track limits there, though, did Beñat Fernandez, as he goes quicker once again. 157.7 that time around. Carter Thompson, 159.1. Carter has well and truly conceded this. He'll clearly be aware that I just saw him go over track limits there, so he does need to be careful. He was well over the track limits there that time.
Because, of course, if he does, you know, he could end up with a long lap penalty, and then perhaps Carter Thompson will wish that he'd kept that gap closer.
True, very true. This is well, it's a bit like yesterday, but the only way to really mitigate for these things is to just go as fast as you can. As we see, Da Costa's gone down, so both French riders have crashed. Da Costa, though, is out. Another high side, though. Exactly the same. Pretty brutal images that we're seeing here.
But all these guys, fortunately, walking away from it. And great, of course, the outs there, the blow up, give them the maximum protection. Superb stuff from Alpine Stars and the HJC helmets, protecting the lads as well as it is possible to be protected. So there is the gap back to the number 50 of Carter Thompson. He has a 10-second advantage over Hakim Danish, and you wouldn't really expect...
Worth noting now, though, Hakim Danish has found the groove again. 157.5 for him that time around. I think he thought, he noticed that Christian Daniel Jr. was well and truly catching him and thought, I'm going to put half a second into you that time around. Danish really wants to make those guys on track together. How far away is Christian Daniel from him now? It looks to be 8/10 on our timing screens, which actually isn't all that much in terms of space on the track. It's about a couple of bike lengths, maybe.
It'd be quite incredible if Hakim manages to keep his run of podium finishes with a trio of second places and then a third here.
Yeah, that at the end of the day.
You know, he's on pole position twice. He's obviously got the pace to win races. He hasn't won one yet, but, you know, I'm sure that Brian Uriarte is going to be hating the fact that he has had to, through no fault of his own, give up 2 races and a huge points haul to Hakim Danish. That's going to be tricky to pull back in with 10 races of the 14 still remaining this year.
Back of the race, trying to chase down Danish, and it just says on our timing screen he's gone down. He didn't go through the first sector. That is a big shame for Christian Daniel Jr. Poor fella.
I wonder what pace Hakim will run now, because surely, you know, he's got...
but he's still in the second.
But he's 9 seconds behind them. Look at this, Matt, as he gets excited. This is where everybody else has been having trouble, and he nearly comes undone as well. Really, you know, and look at all the stones across the track now.
But it's just where, you know, slightly better, like ease the throttle on a bit earlier, a bit more lean, and that, you know, sometimes it's too much.
And it's not those stones that are causing the trouble. They're getting the slides before they get to those stones. And of course, the other thing is, hopefully we don't have another red flag, because the riders have all been round there. Danish then, okay, so now he's got there's a 9-second gap ahead of him, and you know, a handy gap behind. He really doesn't have to press on.
No.
He really should be just saying to himself, you know, I've got the points, that's as good as it's going to get, and I'm still on the podium.
As for Guillaume Plonk, despite crashing earlier on in the race, he's back up to 6th place, so that's a great ride from the Frenchman.
Absolutely, and there is your race leader, Beñat Fernandez, a 17-year-old Spaniard, and he's coming around. I think now he starts his last...
Oh,
now goes
no!
Carter Thompson!
Carter Thompson's thrown it away!
Down. Oh my goodness gracious me! No way, mate! No way!
Come on, Carter, get back up and go. This is exactly... I mean, he lost it
earlier. He lost
even
it earlier.
Yeah. Oh, Carter, I mean, the bike's not too damaged. You can get back up. You got 9 seconds in hand.
It gets, as soon as he cracks the throttle, it goes sideways on him.
Oh,
and there's no
at least his airbag's going.
Yeah, the old Alpine Stars Tech Air suit saves him again. Absolutely super.
As we try and see what's happening with the leaders, I mean, Lucas Brown, I've got to give a shout out to him. He's currently in 7th place.
Superb.
Sullivan Mounsey is in 9th place. Brits absolutely love this sort of weather. You
Miserable.
know why, but shout out to them too, because this is looking to be a great race from them. Oh, you're just absolutely heartbroken for him.
But Hakim Danish, 4th, 2nd place if he keeps it going.
Can you believe it? From the gravel to the rostrum once again, this time in 2nd place. 23 points in the lead. Hakim, you keep it calm, mate, and it's going very conditions. He is another one who's got that feel. He's very intelligent, will be learning every lap.
Yeah, and he was down yesterday, as I said. He was not happy with himself. He said, I don't know what was wrong. I just wasn't feeling it. I've got to sort my head out. And he's celebrating already. He's got a clear lead. He's going to cross the line and pick up his first Rookies Cup win. Absolutely fantastic. 13. And there is Hakim Danish. Another 2nd place for
4th place. Who's going to come across 5th?
Is it going to be Guillaume Plonk?
Is it? Is it? Yes, it is.
Oh,
Ramandhipa's gone down on the final lap, unfortunately. So Lucas Brown.
Hasil Red Bull Rookies Cup 2025 diakhiri red flag. Pembalap Indonesia, Kiandra Ramandhipa finish posisi ini. Pembalap Indonesia, Kiandra Ramandhipa harus mengakhiri sesi balapan, race 1, Red Bull Rookies Cup di Le Mans, Sabtu, 10 Mei 2025, dengan cara tidak biasa. Dengan absennya Veda Ega Pratama, Kiandra Ramandhipa menjadi satu-satunya pembalap yang tampil di sesi balapan pertama, race 1, Red Bull Rookies Cup, Sabtu, 10 Mei 2025. Dalam sesi balapan ini, Ramandhipa memulai balapan dari posisi ke-13. Pembalap Indonesia itu sempat berada di posisi ke-18 sebelum mengalami kenaikan sedikit demi sedikit hingga ke posisi 15. Setelah beberapa lap berlalu, Ramandhipa kembali mencoba naik satu posisi ke tempat ke-14. Saat Ramandhipa bersaing di barisan belasan, pembalap Malaysia Hakim Danish bersaing di barisan terdepan. Pembalap yang sebelumnya meraih pole position itu berada di posisi kedua di belakang Brian Uriarte. Danish lantas kembali berhasil mendapatkan posisi terdepan saat balapan masih tersisa 8 lap lagi. Saat Danish mengklaim posisi pertama, Ramandhipa juga mengalami kenaikan satu posisi ke tempat 13. Di kesempatan berikutnya, Ramandhipa berhasil naik satu posisi lagi ke tempat ke-12. Lap demi lap berlalu, Ramandhipa kembali mengalami kenaikan posisi ke-11, sebelum turun lagi ke posisi 12. Di sisi lain, Danish masih terus bersaing ketat dengan Uriarte dan tergeser dari posisi pertama. Saat persaingan tengah berlangsung sengit, beberapa balapan mengalami insiden dan red flag kemudian dikibarkan di lap ke-11. Balapan yang tinggal tersisa sekitar 4 lap lagi itu pun terjeda karena sirkuit perlu dibersihkan terlebih dahulu. Setelah jeda sejenak, akhirnya diputuskan bahwa balapan tidak akan dimulai kembali dan hasil balapan akan diambil berdasarkan posisi di lap 10. Dengan begini, Maka Brian Uriarte dipastikan memenangi sesi balapan kali ini, disusul Hakim Danish di posisi kedua dan Giulio Pugliese di posisi ketiga. Sementara itu, Ramandhipa berakhir finish di posisi ke-6. Dengan absennya Veda Ega Pratama, Kiandra Ramandhipa menjadi satu-satunya pembalap yang tampil di sesi balapan pertama, Race 1, Red Bull Rookies Cup, Sabtu, 10 Mei 2025. Dalam sesi balapan ini, Ramandhipa memulai balapan dari posisi ke-13. Pembalap Indonesia itu sempat berada di posisi ke-18 sebelum mengalami kenaikan sedikit demi sedikit hingga ke posisi 15. Setelah beberapa lap berlalu, Ramandhipa kembali mencoba naik satu posisi ke tempat ke-14. Saat Ramandhipa bersaing di barisan belasan, pembalap Malaysia Hakim Danish bersaing di barisan terdepan.